Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome back to another lunch stream where we just hang out with you good folks for the next hour or so. We'll answer your questions. We're going to do a roster review. We'll get into a whole bunch of stuff. And speaking of questions, if you have questions, pop those into chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. We'll scoop them up and then we'll read them out in the order we get them. But make sure you put question in front of your statement, because if you don't, I'm not going to be able to scoop it up. Whoever's scooping up questions, and that's on you, not us. Real quick, make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't. We do a lot of fun live streaming and stuff. And the best way to know about it is to be subscribed, and that way you can know, like, when we're doing Battlefront later on today. So we'll do some Battlefront. We got PC gaming night tonight. All kinds of fun stuff for you guys that we try to do as much as possible. And also check out our Patreon. We love our Patreon supporters. And then we'll get into the ACS stuff. You can see it's there on the bottom. We're at 11,477 out of 15,000. So if you could maybe check out our Tiltify. We're raising money for the American Cancer Society. And we'll get into that much later. We got another big 12-hour stream planned for the 30th of March. All right, that being said, let me introduce everybody that's here. We've got, joining me today, we've got Grim, the Z Mechanic.
Howdy.
Also join us, I've got the Stoner Jedi himself, Xylo Takedown.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Nobody cares about you. Where's my apprentice?
Oh, he's eating lunch, but he'll be here soon.
That's right. What is he having for lunch?
Today is corn dogs again. He likes his corn dogs.
That's right. Sith.
I don't blame him. I love corn dogs too.
Love corn dogs. At that age, you can eat anything. It takes a lot of energy to first choke his father. Corn dogs it is.
That's right.
All right. So get your questions in. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody in chat. Glad to see you there. I see Jason Holmes using all the emojis. I see Baby Ranger, Chicken Grande. Oh, good Lord. All right.
Chicken Grande. I forgot about that one.
Well, yeah. So if you guys don't know, we have Super Chat set up. You can donate there. But if you want to do all those cool little emojis and stuff, you have to become a sponsor of the channel. It's still there as an option. People do it. It's $4.99 a month, I believe, for sponsorship on YouTube. And then you get, like, the cool little icon next to your name, and you can do all the emojis we got in there. So, yeah, there we go. All right, let's get into our roster review today and just hit it. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, it looks like today's one is Dagger 487.
It is Dagger 487, and they're in Crimson Force Walkers.
So I like that name. That's a cool name.
Yeah, real quick too. Dagger's a friend. He's a moderator on the Discord. Yeah, he's a moderator on my Discord, and then he's also one of Thunderwhack's big supporters too. There.
Well, then we're gonna let you do this.
Nice.
We're gonna let you take the lead on this, Xylo, if you don't mind.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, let me read what he wrote here. It's kind of a long thing, but
says holy wall of text, Batman.
Well, he wants help, and that's what we're here for. Shut up, Grim. My biggest problem is that I have an inflated roster. I do very well in GA due to ingenuity and maximizing banners, but I would like to lean out my roster so I can have wriggle room. I would also like mod advice on my teams. Some of the major ones have been ignored or forgotten. I do well in fleet, but would like to replace Vader as a reinforcement, but haven't been happy with any other fourth in my fleet. I'm not saying I need a fourth reinforcement, but having another useful one might be helpful. I'm building Plo Koon and the Ebon Hawk to try, but I don't have a ton of experience either. I don't do a ton in Squad Arena, as Revan mirrors are the worst form of masochism in the game currently, and I've refused to partake. Well, I'm going to say something right there.
Use your Revan.
Suck up your pride, buddy. It's about crystal income. You think I enjoy it? You think any of us enjoy it?
Yeah.
You think we sit there going, "Oh my God, yes, another Revan mirror match"? My nipples just got hard.
Even I can't get away with saying, I have Revan, but I'm not going to use them. Yeah, even though I don't like light side, when I get Revan, I'm going to use them, regardless.
Yeah, it's about bigger picture. You got to think the higher I am in arena, the more crystals I'm getting, the more I'm able to use that income to get better things, right?
Yeah, regardless of the character's mechanics or like
trust
or dislike.
Me, it's awful, but it you know, you got to do it. But we'll get into that.
Ends justify the means for this one.
I used to climb the top 10. It says, with all that being said, I'm curious to what I can do to enjoy the arena right now, and do you have any tips to motivate me to massacre Jedi Revens? One, I just like being in the top. It's a little bit of bragging rights, right? I like beating other teams. It's just always good practice. It's monotonous and it's boring. But there's not much you can do in arena. Now, Darth Revan's coming. He's going to flip the script on Jedi Knight Revan. So, you know, they do need to have some more diversity in arena. You're not going to get any argument from me on that. But listen, you got to do it, bud. It's you're hurting yourself. You're not. I mean, the point is well made. You make a very valid point, but you're only hurting yourself by not doing it. You know, you have every right to get as much crystals and stuff that you can work on other stuff that you enjoy playing more. You know, so that's one thing you should be doing.
Yeah, or look at it this way: just it's something to tide you over until you get Darth Revan. Because Darth Revan's gonna be,
and it's right around the corner.
Yeah,
and he's also we've been back and forth over the Darth Revan topic, and he's most likely going to be getting Darth Revan. So.
Yeah, that's what he says. I'll be getting Darth Revan.
Almost done with Karth and almost done with Juhani. They're both.
There you go.
Now he says
I believe he's done with the other two.
He says my goal is to push Karth and Candace to gear 11, Bastila and HK to 12. I'm not planning to push Juhani past gear 9 unless I have to for the event. Made a resource dump on Ewoks, finished them to gear 11 because I'm desperately trying to stay focused before moving on. No problem there. I have 2 Zetas, but not a large gear stash as I cannot afford it currently. I'll likely get 7-star C3PO next go. Fantastic. I'll just have to save mods and have patience. I will get an MF 7 stars next go as well. Fantastic. Also, are there any half-farm teams I can finish outside of my first order? My Rogue One can make 5 or 6 on light side Dark Battle, and I was wondering how much gear is required to constantly pass phase 6. Well, most of mine are gear 12, and I still can't do it. Sometimes you get to that final match, and they go first, you're like, really? I'm gear 12, they had all turn meter, and I died and didn't even get to take a go. Screw you, CG. It's like,
well, that's just the game saying, get good.
I didn't get a chance to go, Grim. It happens once in a while where you just...
it's like some of the Zetas. It's like...
Yes, I have Zeta Cassian and Zeta Jin in gear 12, and I go in there, I'm like, I'm dead. What happened? I get so... That's one thing that'll upset me, because 90% of the time I'll beat it. Not a problem. But there's that 10% where you go in there and it's like... one snow trooper and like 4 officers, you know, all, you know, with the arrows.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
And they just start buffing each other. You can't do anything, and it's just like they just go and just start they murder you, and you're just
and
like,
it's like the last 2 waves all have those extra buffs too, like that the TB gives them, right? The little ranked buffs, like that last wave, they all have those buffs. It's like they take no damage.
That 1 out of 10 matches where I go in there, I'm like, all right, I got turn meter, I got all my abilities, I got my big bombardment, and I'm dead.
And I'm dead.
Dude,
and I didn't even get a chance to go.
You run into like the 2 officers and a bunch of snowtroopers, elite snowtroopers.
Gosh.
You know, you attack one dude, and then the whole horde of them counterattack the one dude that attacked, and they die. Your character dies.
Yeah, you're just like, Jesus.
It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to write this one off. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's creamy. But you know, which is nuts, and it happens to me on Dark Side with the droid IPD mission. You know,
the very last
9 times out of 10,
mm-hmm.
I go in there, crush it. But there's always that one time that like just the right RNG where it's like, wait a minute, why am I not going first? Wait, why am I dead? All the other times I get to go first because I have a super fast. This is BS. What the hell is going on here? You know, so it can happen to the best of us, even with all gear 12s and Zetas. It doesn't matter. So it's a crapshoot. All right, let's get into his roster review. You heard what he wants. So we already talked about Arena. I mean, the Arena he's running right now, which is a fun team. It's CLS, Han, Chewie, Thrawn, and Nest. You're hurting yourself. Fleet, you're doing fantastic. I love your fleet lineup, and you're getting one. I mean, you said you're not happy with Vader as a reinforcement. Then you can go another route. I mean, you could bring if you want a second. Who could he bring in there? I mean, Wedge works in that lineup.
He's got a 5-star Ebon Hawk.
Hell, bring in a Poe. Or Ebon Hawk. Yeah.
All right. So what I've been doing right now, and I've got so much film on it too, and I've been just drowning in it. The Ebon Hawk, and I'm one of the players who haven't invested so much in Cassian, the Phoenix Squad, all those ships that are your reinforcements. So your starting lineup, what I've been using is the Houndstooth, Biggs, and the Falcon out of 6 stars too, by the way. And the reinforcements are Phantom 2, Cassian, Ebon Hawk, and then you can either alternate the 4th between like Lando's Falcon or Wedge for an extra buff immunity. Basically, like once you call out either Cassian or the Ebon Hawk, and you still have that second reinforcement that removes all buffs, it just runs over any mirror match. It's amazing, and it's a 2-3 minute battle. Yeah, it's a 2-3 minute battle. It's perfect. It works. You got to try it. It's a great climbing team, and it makes those mirror matches so much simpler and so much easier.
Eben when Funsack comes out, otherwise it's Cassian as the first reinforcement.
Well, see, I liked Mike. I liked yours, and then I was like, okay, well, who can be replaced for Ghost? And I was like, okay, well, Phantom 2, Cassian, and Ebon Hawk, so they both can come off the bench and remove buffs. And then that last one's just your extra damage dealer. Like, so if Wedge comes off the bench, he gives that buff immunity to the Houndstooth if it's still there, or the opposing Biggs, Cassian, anything that's going to gain extra bonus protection. And then if you use Lando's Falcon, it's just going over and over and over.
Yeah, just get as many cargo ships as possible on there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Kill them and steal all their goodies.
That's right. All right, Zyla, this is your homie, man. Take point. Where we looking at? You heard everything he wants. So where do you want to go?
Let me get the roster here. He's got we got 3PO7. Sorry, saying he's ready for the event next time around. He's ready for Darth Revan.
Are you in characters?
Yeah, I'm pulling up his characters right here. So let's do the filters like we usually do. Then we'll look at bounty hunters first. Got a Gear 12 boss, both Zetas. He's got plenty of depth, so he can make a good bounty hunter team at least. And I know he loves his Cad Bane too, so that's a good one right there.
That's a very good one.
You finish the stars on Jango Fett, depending on the farm with Ebon Hawk too. Embo and Aura Stinger a little bit later too. So for your roster right now, I'd probably hold off on those guys. Let's look at Empire. We're not really worried about droids or anything like that right now.
Empire next, okay.
Yeah. So got a Gear 12 Thrawn, Palpatine, Shore Trooper. Definitely at least get him up to Gear 11. That's one of the more valuable overall pieces in the game. You can plug him into a bounty hunter team for territorial wars or Grand Arena or anything like that too, to give that team more survivability, or just a pre-taunting tank in general. It's a great tank. Let's get First Order.
Actually, there's a couple I can mention in his Empire here.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to look into possibly taking Veers to 11 and dropping a Zeta on him.
At least.
Mm-hmm. And here comes the most awesome freaking thing that's going to happen for Imperial Troopers and the Empire in general is Death Mark is going to be able to ignore taunt. So Death Trooper is getting a massive buff with that, right?
So it'll be Death Mark has its own taunt.
To 11 or 12, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, plus it's a great piece overall. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great point with the troopers. And then Stark, Gear 11 Stark.
Yeah, you need good mods on Stark because that's your engine that can.
Let's look at his speed on Stark real quick too while we're here with troopers. Let's see here. So we got him clocked at 226. I think we can get him a little faster than that with his base speed. So you want to aim for 240, maybe 250 if you have the mods for it.
If you get 250, because you get the 20 speed from Veers, so that's why you want Stark. at that level, because and then he can go before a lot of teams, and that's why a lot of people use troopers against bounty hunters, because Stark can get up that high, and that's a creamy, delicious kill for you.
Yeah, plus they get all that turn meter when he buffs the team too, so it's like they all get to go first if you got him clocked right. And again, like your role player Imperial troopers too, like Snow Trooper, Magma Trooper, you got the stars on, they just need gear. And then Range Trooper is a good hard node for later on down the road too, to kind of stretch your Empire and Trooper faction.
All right.
Let's look at Ewoks real quick too, just to see where he's at.
Gear 11.
Yeah, everybody get the Xenon Chirpers gear 10. You need the 7th star on Logray, but I'm sure you'll get that before the event comes back.
You need Wicket 7 stars, buddy. So it's got to be a part of your farming plan. If you want 3PO, Wicket's an integral part of getting 3PO. You know, so with their gear 11s, we just got to get them those stars. But if you're farming them, then you're good to go, I think. But he should be more than fine if he gets the stars. He'll have the
stars will come over time, you know, with the events. And if you're farming Wicket's hard node occasionally too, you should be able to round the rest of those stars up. Log raising the guild store, right?
Plus those Zetas every month. Wicket's a big dose. Hey, I see the life-size Velociraptors back on my Amazon.
Yeah, so is the yodeling pickle.
Hey, I've got the best of both worlds right now.
Let's see here. Let me scroll back up in chat here. Where was it? Can't touch this. I'm pretty sure the yodeling pickle is auditioning to become the official RSG mascot.
Yeah,
I don't know. Between that and the life-size Velociraptor, I mean, Jesus. God.
All right, so let's look at first order here. So we've got the Gear 12 crew, 1 Zeta. Just the 2nd Zeta will fill that team up. But again, you got your Darth Revan, so.
With the Zeta on crew on his lead.
It's on Scarred. Yeah.
All right.
Is it the pre-taunt? Yeah.
No, it's his lead. He needs the Zeta on his pre-taunt.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, the rest of the first order, you know, a little extra gear on Executioner, and then definitely need to gear up the Stormtrooper, and the Zeta's not a must, but it builds so much more viability to the team.
To me, it's a must. Yeah, it makes him just ridiculous. All the call assist and stuff. It's nasty. It's a really good Zeta.
Helps boost the turn meter on the team too, as well, right?
All right.
It's another defensive team for you. Okay, let's look at first order. We got
Jedi.
Looked at troopers. Yeah, we
looked at troopers.
Yeah, so we got Jedi. We got 2 Zetas on Jedi Knight Revan.
Look at that. He's got the perfect Revan team. Bro, you better start putting that damn... What's his speed on this Revan?
I believe it was like the 270 range, actually.
Yeah, if we do some
273.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, this is a team you got to be using. You got to get your Bastila to Gear 12. I mean, holy cow. What the hell? It should be your PvP team. I know I know mirror matches suck, but again, we already discussed this, but
there's so many different ways to kill a Revan team mirror match too, right? So it's just finding your niche and what makes it more comfortable for you. I mean, like, I know Darth Revan's right around the corner, but building this team in general is one of the top tier. Yeah, it's one of the top tier things to do in the game right now. Regardless, with Darth Revan inbound, it's going to be one of the top 3 teams in the game, right there with the Triumvirate. So
right. There's upper meta teams and then there's mid tier meta teams. This ain't one of them. This is top tier, you know, and it's going to still be top tier even with Darth Revan coming out. All right.
Yeah, and even if you don't like the mirror matches, you can just use like the Triumvirate to face other Revans, and your Revan to face Triumvirate, and Darth Revan to face whoever. So.
All right. Nightsisters.
Nightsisters, yeah. Yeah. So we just got Talzin. She needs her Zetas, both the Zetas. Zombies gear 11, perfect for me. Daka, she's gear 10, but she works fine there. If you want to put that last stun gun up to gear 11, you'll be surprised how quick you can get her to gear 12. And then if you were going to work on any other sisters, then
Spirit, man.
Talia.
Talia for
Yeah,
raise, but
Spirit.
Spirit for PvP. Since you got her
Yeah.
7 stars, she's nasty.
I just got her up to gear 11 recently, and I'm debating on pushing her up to gear 12. How awesome her offense is. It's very, very strong, and that stun is very consistent too as well.
Oh yeah, once you start putting the gear 12 pieces on her, man, she starts hitting insanely hard.
Yeah, and she's one of those characters that only takes 15 Zeta, or I'm sorry, 15 Omegas.
15 Zetas? Holy crap.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the first 15 Zeta character. So, Old Republic, he's got those last stars left on Karth and Juhani. And gear-wise, you got gear 10 Karth, gear 11 Fallen Bastila, and then we'll have to look at his droids to see where HK is real quick. HK's gear 9, 7 stars, so he's good to go. I mean, regardless whether it's a gear check or not, he's got a gear 10 Karth and a gear 11 Fallen Bastila, so
yeah,
potentially
and
those two.
Too, so
yeah.
he might be
on
extremely good at gear 9.
Oh, it depends on if he's going to get the rework before the event or not, right? I mean, we've been kind of
true.
speculating that too as well. So, let's look at Rebels. Got gear 12 gang going around up here. Biggs, Wedge, Akbar. Got that Zeta on CLS. He's got one Zeta on R2, so you could potentially put a second Zeta on R2D2. Got gear 11 Ezra. Oh, his ghost crew right there with Ezra, Chopper, and Sabine. They're more geared than mine is, and my Phantom 2, it's like a truck all the time. So he's got a good balance for the ships. Hera's gear 9 for the Phantom crew. Let's see here. You can gear up Chirrut, definitely Chirrut. C-3PO, he's gonna gear up 3PO after the Revan event.
Sure.
He was telling me about that, so that's like his main focus other than the Revan team. Baze, yeah, you can finish the last 2 stars on Baze. He pops up in that guild event store every once in a while. And same with Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. You know, if you see his shards popping up in the fleet store, everything, just chipping away at one of those characters at a time out of that store helps. Does consume your Zetas a little bit, but rounding up some of these stars on these characters is very important too. Pathfinder does pop up in that store too, as well as Baze. A lot of the Rebels and Director Krennic pops up in there too. A couple of key pieces that are easier than farming on hard nodes. So let's look at Resistance. You got Zeta on JTR, Gear 12 BB-8. You got the Zeta. Finn's got the Zeta, and he's Gear 11, so potentially you can make some use out of him after his rework. A lot of Gear 11 here. Trooper, Scavray Gear 11, Haldo Gear 10. Yeah, some pretty good pieces there. Let's see here. Got we'll look at Scoundrels real quick, just overall Scoundrels.
Oh, sure.
Gear 12 Zeta at Empty's Nest. Really good.
That's a good piece to have.
Gear 11 L3. Gear 10 Young Lando. You could push the gear on Kira a little bit more. She's Gear 9. You can round her up to Gear 11. Mission Zalbar Gear 8. Even later down the road, you'll love investing in those 2 pieces. For a Scoundrel team in general, let alone a Karth team or a Kira team, it's just 2 really awesome pieces with Mission and Zalbar. Overall, pretty well. You can finish the stars on Young Han too. Young Han's 5 stars, Vandor's 5 stars or 4 stars. So some extra stars and get the prepared squad going and separate the prepared squad from the Old Republic group later on down the road. Sith.
The last one looks pretty damn good.
Got Treya. Get that second Zeta on Treya.
Gotta get that second Zeta on Treya. If you have one, put it on her now. That's one Zeta I would say you definitely need.
And then one more piece. I know he's not a big fan of him, but Sith Trooper, one of the best pre-talkers in the game.
He's incredible. That's a badass tank. Sith Trooper, especially in the Sith team, he's nasty. I mean, you see me do it in Grand Arena where I just go in with the Sith Triumvirate and Sith Trooper and win. Or
even just Vader and Sith Trooper.
Yes, we did that the other day with Vader and Sith Trooper. It's like, oh, Rogue One, you lose.
It just runs everybody over, and it's great even just for an auto taunter. If you're not going to use him in the Sith faction, or you stretch that faction out a little bit more between Empire, or trying to make some short-handed teams and anything like we just said with Vader and Sith Trooper, it's a great combo.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so looking overall, I mean, here's what I would suggest. Zyla, you tell me what you think. You're going for Darth Revan. Focus on Darth Revan right now. Gear, everything for that team. After that, you're really in a position to where if you were going to tell him to work on a team after that, which way would you want him to go? Scoundrels, round up his Nightsisters, First Order. What would you say, Zylo?
I would say overall, from my personal experience too, and what I've worked on recently, I would say the Nightsisters and Ewoks.
Yeah.
So those two factions, just hyper focus them, gear them up. The Nightsisters more than the Ewoks. The Ewoks, you just need a couple more stars on those last two pieces, like Wicked and Lawgray. Some additional gear, just get them up to gear 11. It's exactly what I did. Those primary 5 recommended Ewoks, just got them up to gear 11. Worked fine for me. You don't have to go to gear 12 until you want to make that investment later on. And they're still a good offensive team to have in your back pocket for later on if you clock them for speed. And then the Nightsisters are amazing. Once you get that,
they are.
If you put that Zeta on Daka's unique, you already have the Zetas you need for that. So that's just one Zeta investment.
He needs a 2 for Talzin.
Yeah, I mean, if you do her unique first and are primarily running a Saj lead, you can run both of those in the raids and PvE or Territory Wars Grand Arena, and then the second Zeta on Talzin will definitely help you stretch that faction more, especially in 3v3. You can make 2 Nightsister teams, or just using Mother Talzin's lead on offense is also very flexible too for Plague, and that revive mechanic works a lot better in your hand, but it is really annoying on defense too. And then again, both those teams will help you get more Zetas every month, and I think it'll help stretch your roster a little bit more. Nightsisters are great counters for, even Jedi Knight Revan, for example. You can clock them for hella speed and offense, and then potency, and they start to spread Plague around like crazy. So you can potentially look at that for even a Darth Revan counter in the future. If Plague is still one of those mechanics that cripple Darth Revan teams if they don't have a lot of healing or tenacity doesn't stick through them. Potency tenacity check always works in the game. And again, it's those 2 monthly Zetas from each of those events. So you get an extra 4 Zetas every month potentially, or if you get lucky and get some good RNG, get some extra Zetas out of that event. And a hyper-focused C-3PO's gear too as well. I think that's your overall plan right now, is those 2 teams and C-3PO. And then you can kind of chip away at Jedi Knight Revan around that too as well if you want to. Or you can just hoard up some more gear for Darth Revan.
All right.
And after that, he might want to look into possibly, sorting out what he might want to use for Sith, because Sith are going to be coming back with Darth Revan. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because you're going to get the stars for Traya right now, and then all you have to really do is invest in Trooper, and you make that faction even better for you.
Or maybe Sith Assassin, in case
possibly.
If Revan
another
isn't
offensive
enough,
piece, right?
You'll need Assassin in there,
Hi.
But
Finn.
Look, it's Finn. Finn decided to join us.
It's just an added suggestion.
I was having lunch with my mommy.
A likely
family's
story.
important.
She's off right now because of school, spring break and stuff. So
we all know you're playing Anthem, Finn. I don't even want to.
I am now, but I wasn't before.
See,
I am now.
It was actually kind of sad. I came back, and the first thing I did out of force of habit was turn on Anthem.
You're sick. You're a sick man, Finn. You're very sick man.
I am. All right. We're still doing Dagger's roster review?
Yeah, we're going to the mods.
If you look at his roster, it's not that fluffy.
No, it's not.
No. Mm-mm. So I'm scrolling through what I do for my mods. Filter by speed, sort by speed. So overall, he's got he's got 5. He's got 5 plus 20 speeds, so it's not too bad. He's got some 19s, so you can tell he's been slicing. You can tell he's been rolling mods.
I can tell you,
I can
make
tell
his Revan super fast.
He needs to go through and put mods.
I would keep that. I would keep that square on Revan. I would definitely put that crosses on Trey on Revan, And I would definitely.
He's in the chat, right? Sorry if I missed.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why he's not running Revan right now?
He doesn't like mirror matches. He hates Revan mirror matches.
We already went through that.
Has he tried Revans with Chewie?
We went through all that. Finn.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already covered.
Yeah,
that.
if you would have been here, you would have known.
I was having lunch with my mommy.
Code for I was playing Anthem, and you guys don't matter.
No, I was actually having lunch with my mommy.
Oh, really? Well, where did you go, Finn?
We went to a place called Yumi Sushi.
What did you order?
Chicken bento box.
What did she order?
Chicken bento box. We get the same thing when we go there.
Did you drink, or was it just tea?
Water.
Well,
what do you mean?
You went to a sushi restaurant and got chicken.
Oh, it's a bento box.
Bento box. So it has like sushi. It has like fried shrimp. It has chicken and then veggies and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say,
good.
Seriously.
I do like chicken katsu and chicken teriyaki if I go to a Japanese place.
All right, mods.
Haha.
Grow up, Finn.
It's science. His mods are scattered.
They're really scattered.
Needs focus on whatever team you want to play.
Yes, read it first.
Whatever it is, whether if you don't want to play Revan, that's fine.
No, he's going to be playing
Revan. I wouldn't go CLS. I would go with Traya team instead, and then you have to change the way that you mod that team. There's two different ways. Again, we've gone over this, and you guys may have gone over this already, but I'm just going to kind of say it again. Did you talk about the Traya counter to Revan teams?
Finn, you're behind the curve. Talk about mods.
No, but did you talk about how you're supposed to mod Traya?
Go ahead, Finn. Just pop in and say whatever you like.
I know. I'm just going to say no.
Real quick, too, before we talk about the Traya counter, also with Fallen Bastila getting her rework and being like Darth Revan's new like BFF, like it kind of takes away from the Traya team now, right? So you're kind of forced to use Sith Trooper and Thrawn, or
maybe we have no
Sith
idea what Revan's
Nest
kit is.
Or,
you're looking at Fallen Bastila in a vacuum, right?
Right, but now you're not going to away from that team, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly how it's going to work out, how Revan's going to work with that. So Fallen Bastila, I mean, still may be useful on that team, but there's a few different ways you can go about it.
Right, but you're going to want to use her with the with Darth Revan as opposed to the Triumvir now. Right?
Probably, if you can, yeah. And he looks like he's getting both of them. So, but if you're going to be looking for a Revan counter ahead of your Darth Revan, right? The Traya counter works out really well. What you need to do is mod your Thrawn for speed. Speed on Thrawn is going to be your most important thing. The standard team, as I'm sure they already mentioned, it's Traya, Scion, Nihilus, Thrawn, and your fifth can vary. Your fifth can be Fallen Bastila, your fifth can be Sith Trooper, or your fifth can be Emperor Palpatine. All of those can be viable depending on how you set up the team and how you decide you want to utilize it. And so the Traya mods in particular are going to be what you want to check, and there's actually going to be a bit of timing that you have to do with this team. The first timing issue is going to be Scion, Nihilus, and Thrawn. The concept is that you do the Dispel with Scion, then you get Nihilus to go next and do the Force Strain. But you can't mod Nihilus so that he's one speed slower than Scion, because if Revan goes first, which typically he will unless you have decent enough mods that you may be able to outspeed some Revans, but probably not most. Unless your Thrawn goes first and fractures Revan, what will happen is that Revan will attack Traya, and when he does that, you get a bunch of debuffs, and all those debuffs give turn meter to Nihilus. And so the way that you actually want to do it is make Thrawn one speed slower than Scion. That way, your Scion goes first, then your Thrawn goes, because they're not gaining turn meter from anything, and then you turn meter swap your Thrawn with your Nihilus. Right? So that's the sequence that you need in order to get that done. And so while you're going to be modding your Thrawn for speed, you have to make sure that your Thrawn is one speed slower than Scion. And so it is going to take a little bit of tweaking to make sure that your mods are kind of all set up so you can do it that way. So your best mod set is going to go on your Scion. Your Thrawn is going to be next. Now, if you put your best speed set on Thrawn, right, then you're going to be trying to outspeed their Revans. And that depends on your shard and whether or not you're able to do that. I'm on my shard, for example, if I put my fastest mods on Thrawn, I was able to outspeed probably about 75% of the top 20 in Arena. right? Because my mods are a little better than some of the people on my shard. So I was able to get away with that for a little while. But it's all kind of depending on your shard. Traya, you're going to have to mod for kind of two things, and you can decide which way you want to go. Either really, really heavy protection or really, really heavy tenacity. And the reason is that Revan reduces health when as part of his like overall team ability, right? And you can either do tenacity in order to reduce the amount of health that's lost, or you can do heavy protection so that she survives that because she loses health, not the protection, and the protection can keep her alive if she has a massive, massive protection pool. Again, depends on your shard, depends on how people are modded, depends what you can get away with, and also how much tenacity you have in your mods, how much protection you have in your mods, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not all about speed if you're not going to be running Revan. Revan is going to be all about speed and learning the counter, and then if you want, you can put in like a Plo Koon or a Chewie, and then that makes your mirror matches a little bit easier. But just something to kind of consider there with how to mod your Traya team. And then afterwards, you can kind of mod whoever you want. But at the top of your roster, you're a little bit scattered on your mods because you have Traya, you have Thrawn, you have Chewie. It looks like you're trying to get to the Traya team, but there's still a lot of mods kind of scattered around. You have Enfys, you have Jolie with a really nice crit avoidance arrow. I have to say, it's a 19-speed crit avoidance arrow. I really like that one.
Nice, yeah. I got a 17. That's nice.
Yeah. So just different ways to mod it depending on what you want. But if you want to just kind of make Darth Revan is within like 2 days away, so there's probably not much of a reason for you to remod right now because you're going to be getting Darth Revan, and then you can remod for that. Did you look at the rest of his Darth Revan team?
Yes, Finn,
yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh my God.
His gear 9. Yeah, he's still
gear 9. Oh, so he's still probably far away. So it might be worth it for him to mod his Traya team.
I like the Traya defensive comp anyways, even after Darth Revan comes, because potentially if like his kit reads and his defense is converting to offense, potentially you're just going to convert all those offense or defensive mods from Traya to Darth Revan, and then you can kind of rebuild Traya however you want to again. But that's just speculation on the defensive mods and the aspect of that part of his kit. We haven't even seen the kit yet. And then for like the mods for Traya, and I went with a crit avoidance arrow and a defensive triangle and a tenacity cross and then a protection circle. But all the primaries are defense except for the cross and the arrow, or I'm sorry, the triangle and the arrow. But that's because there were health primaries that rolled good speed and then sliced them up to 6E and gave them that 20% defense on the triangle. And then the diamond that's next to the triangle is also 6E, so it's 20 defense, and then it's got 21 speed on it too as well. So she's got a fair amount of speed. She's clocked at 225 overall, so she's not that fast, but I've had her take up to 4 marks from Revan, so it puts a lot of survivability on there, and you can kind of balance those extra stats out from 6E too as well.
All right. So I think we've covered everything.
One quick thing. If you isolate Revan, when he uses his mark, he will call nobody to assist.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to beat Revan to the isolate. That's always...
Yeah.
I always put it on Yoda because I don't like him spreading his buffs.
No, that makes that team way less potent because they're not getting all that extra damage and stuff. So,
Right.
But Dagger, that is your roster review for today. Take what we said. If you follow the instructions, you should be a lot better. If you have any questions for us, all you need to do is you can get with us specifically. Just message us in Discord. You message your buddy Xylo too. And we can help you with anything that you have question-wise. That's what we're here for. And Finn, since you're here, how does someone get a roster review?
Simple. Head on to the RSG Discord. The link is in the description. And just message me, Finity, saying that you want a roster review and send me your GG page. Make sure I respond to you within 24 hours that you are in the queue. If I don't say you are in the queue, then you can go ahead and message me again and make sure that I do respond.
Yeah, punch him in the face. All right. So Dagger, thank you for letting us look at your roster. I hope that helps you out tremendously. And if you need more help, you know where to find us. We are here for you, my friend. All right, let's get to some questions. Finn, are you able to do the questions, or do I have to do triple duty because you had to go eat lunch with your mother?
I can get them. Let me open up Nightbot here.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
I'm getting Nightbot open. Okay.
I'm gonna go do Rebel Roundup. Why? Because I
Right.
can.
Oh, was Grande here before or
No.
Oh, okay. Because the first question is from Gav P that says, "Can I get Grande to say my name?" Hashtag mod review.
He'd be like, Gavapa. GAVP.
Graph P. Gravel. Can't touch this. Question. Yodel, 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 yodel. Hee-hoo.
It was Pickle.
Was it the pickle? I was seeing the life-size Velociraptor.
No, that was for the Pickle, but they've been talking about the Raptor as well. I had both on the page at the same time, Finn. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Pretty soon it's going to be a yodeling pickle riding a life-size Velociraptor.
Oh my god. That would be epic, I have to say. That would be pretty epic. All right. Next question. The Axeman. Really a statement as far as Revan Killer. Put a Gear 12 Droidica with 2100 offense in place of Bastila. Hit Grandmaster Yoda till Savior's triggered. You shield and then big attack damage against Jolee easy. It's easy except for one part. A Gear 12 Droidica.
Yeah.
That requires you to have a 7-star Droidica, which means that it's not going to be available to free to play.
Not initially. It can be done though.
It can be done, but I've seen some compositions with Grievous and Droidica that may or may not work consistently. I've seen some that show like Revan killing, but in terms of consistency, I'm not 100%. But yeah, as soon as you go Gear 12, you've reduced it to non-free to play essentially. So
I dropped my Droidica from my Revan squad. I was timing out too much. I'm finding that Flow works much better, even better than Chewie.
Science.
All right, next question, Chicken. Will you buy the yodeling pickle for the Raptor? I think you have to. If we get a yodeling pickle, then we have to get one for the life-size Velociraptor. But we need the life-size Velociraptor.
Those are only $1,600. That ain't happening ever. Unless we're making a fortune from YouTube, and
I don't even know where you would put the life-size Velociraptor, even if we put it on the wish list.
So this is the way it works, Finn. Someday, if we ever make a ton of money from YouTube, we will have the mansion with the pool, and we'll have the room where we stream from, and the Velociraptor will be there with the pickle in its mouth.
In your life-size Jurassic Park. That's where it goes.
With yodeling pickle entry. Okay, next question. Nick Merck. Next question is Ouchie Dumpling. Can Visas please get the old Republic tag now?
I know why she wants it.
So she can get synergy with 3 Zeta Gamorrean Guard?
Well, I was saying that last on a Remon stream. Yeah, I mean, like, the defensive penetration for one would be a huge boost to that team because they would be critting even more, dealing more damage. And then on top of that, she can kind of be like the res for that team instead of running like a double tank team with Juhani. And then Juhani can go ahead and fit him with any of your Jedi teams. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Visas is already amazing in like a Rex Wamba team. But other than that, like for me personally, she doesn't really have a place anywhere else. And I mean, like, she's fun in the Sith raid, but she's not like the main damage dealer for the JTR team anymore. So she's kind of like just an adjunct team somewhere. And then, again, other than like a Rex Wampa team, she doesn't really have a home right now. And she would be great to like res Zalbar in that team, or if like somebody goes in with like a heavy AoE debuff damage team and like Mission or Karth dies, she can bring them back, for example.
If they were to do that, they'd need to give Traya, Scion, and Nihilus, along with Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder, the old Republic tag too.
Well, I see the marquee characters, but like the Triumvirate was like never part of the Sith Empire. You know, it part of the lore. You know, it's like the Triumvirate was like their own thing, and like Traya had her own like core beliefs, and then they all just stabbed each other in the back. but
Traya.
The old Republic tag, they basically said is a reference to the time period more so than anything else.
Well,
right?
the old Republic,
they actually have the Sith Empire tag now that they're bringing
they could
out.
go, you know, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
and
the old Republic.
To be honest, HK needs it too.
Well, Ranger's more
Listen,
Ranger's more lore for that than all of us. Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Sith Empire is what it was back then. It was actually the Sith Empire, so I'm fine with the tag. Visa's, there were some neutral characters that didn't give a crap about either side. You could say, does HK deserve an Old Republic tag? No, he was Darth Revan's boy, and they were Sith Empire. So, I agree with their interpretation of what the tags are and stuff. And if you want to,
I don't think the question is necessarily the Sith Empire tag, but it's more so, what does the Old Republic tag represent? Does it represent things in a time period or something more specific?
Well,
right? 'Cause if it's
period, what I'm saying is they're treating the Old Republic tag for the Republic, right?
Yeah.
Because the Galactic Republic, it's had many different names, but I think they're sticking with that for that. They got to give the good guys some kind of tag, so they'll go Old Republic, and then they'll go Sith Empire for the baddies. So, and I'm fine if that's how they want to make the distinction. It's not. It's canon-wise, it's fine.
Well, and another thing about Beasis too, wasn't she in KOTOR 2, not the first one, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure she's only in the second KOTOR. And then to also think about like her lore and her story in general, like she's not really with the Old Republic as of that point in her life, right? In the character that we have in game, like she's not loyal to the Republic or the Sith. She's just her own ideology.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, though, Ranger, they're changing Fallen Bastila, right? But they haven't said anything about Canderous.
Oh, I don't.
Right? Canderous still has Old Republic tag. So if you're looking at, so I'm trying to figure out like where they're going.
Well,
with that.
I mean, it could go. I don't know. I'm just saying if that's how they're making the distinction. But I mean, however they're going to do it. But I don't really care because
there's a few little confusing parts with the Old Republic side.
It's
Sith Empire makes more sense with the way that they developed that.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with the Sith Empire, but it's how they're utilizing Old Republic and what are you going to do with Canderous? Because Canderous really wasn't Sith Empire.
No, he's part of the crew. I mean, there's some people that were
more of a mercenary.
There's people that were double.
Scoundrel as well, though, isn't he?
Now all the
Scoundrel
other Old
tag.
Republic,
Scoundrel,
good guys, right? They're all going to be light side after Fallen Bastila changes, and then you're going to have Canderous.
Yeah, I mean it's immaterial. I don't really care. I mean, whatever they want to label stuff. I mean, because Knights of the Old Republic. No matter what, your characters went a certain arc, your main character Revan went a certain arc. It's not that big a deal.
Him and Visa should set up a Billy No Mates club.
All right.
I guess I get the point now. Like, because I was so pro, she needs the Old Republic tag. I get it now because like she's her own standalone character. So she's not. If anything, she makes like a neutral tag. Bias now.
With Canderous, come to think of it, he's one of those characters, Duke Nukem doesn't need a tag to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
And I'm fresh out of bubblegum. Okay. Next question from Ouchie. Question, the Disney takeover of Fox officially happens at midnight today. How likely do you think it will be that we'll get original versions of the original trilogy released in Blu-ray or digital?
I have no idea. No clue. It would be fantastic if they did.
And I hope when you mean like original versions, you're talking about the lack of Christian Haydenson as Anakin.
No, she means like, the original, the big three where George Lucas went in and added all that stuff.
Yeah, I want an original version on Blu-ray or digital of Episode 6 without Christian Haydenson.
Yeah, with the original actor, or what's his name?
Yeah, original actor Anakin. I can't remember his name, but original actor Anakin.
Yeah.
That's what I want there. Next question, JLY9 question. Ordo's unique Mandalorian veteran works with Old Republic and Scoundrel allies. Would Stormtrooper Han be a good fifth in a Karth lead team if one didn't have Jumanji? More turn meter for the team.
I could see that. Yeah. Absolutely, I could see that. That makes sense. Do it. Especially if you don't have Jumanji, so... Jumanji.
Here's the thing, though. Stormtrooper Han is actually pretty squishy.
I know.
Yeah, when he's not in the leadership slot, he is really squishy.
It's a purely offensive...
Gear 12 and Z to him.
Let's see here. No.
If you have a Gear 12 Zeta Stormtrooper Han, then okay. If you don't, then he is a little squishy without that Zeta.
I feel you're nitpicking now.
Jumanji works with that team a lot better because she continually like trades off taunts with Zalbar. It's an interesting question.
And Juhani's the cleanse too, and she staggers.
I mean, my guess is that it'll work if you don't have anything else, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as strong. So you can do it. I know people are trying to find a place for Stormtrooper Han, especially in 5s. He has a little bit more of like a niche that you can use in 3s, but in 5s, that could work if you don't have Juhani, but just be cautious that he is squishier than what you normally think.
Well, and another thing too is like you're trying to separate your Karth and Kira teams from each other now, right? So
that's easy. That's prepared and non-prepared. So it's Karth, Canderous, Fallen Bastila, which this might change. Not Fallen Bastila, but this might change anyways. But it's Karth, Canderous, Zalbar, Mission, and Juhani.
Yeah,
and that should be fine. And then prepared for the Kira team.
Yeah, and if you want to go like with more of a defensive prepared Kira team, since she has the protection regen on her lead, you could go with Kira, L3, Vandor, Stormtrooper Han, and then either young Lando or Enfys Nest for a damage dealer in there, and then that's just a big wall that they have to get around. It'd be better than putting like young Han on defense as opposed to anything else, and you could save him for offense.
All right, next question.
All right, next question from Luke Thyrocker. Raptors are basically Jurassic chickens. Can we get a RSG Jurassic Park remake? I just want to see Grande hunting raptors with a jacket, then turn and say "clever girl" when he is surrounded.
Oh, clever girl.
We do have...
Just like...
Yeah, but he would mess it up. He'd be like, oh, clever boy, it's girl. Oh, I meant boy.
We do have, just so you know, we do have a challenge for the RSG team when we go to the half marathon, that if that gets filled, we will reenact different classic movie scenes. Just throwing that out there. It's there. There is a challenge available. Little you guys can go to the Tiltify page. The link is in the description. And if you want to see us remake some stuff, we have some ideas. We can definitely put Jurassic Park on there. If that gets filled, we'll have some fun reenacting stuff when we meet up.
Dr. Alan Finn.
Next question from Doja-san. Question, is Canderous going to get the Sith Empire tag? No, it doesn't fit. We kind of went through that. Yeah. Malin87. Question, who is the best 5th on a Karth, Mission, Zalbar, Canderous team? So for that one, I think we all agree.
Jumanji. Yeah.
Then the next one is Kira, L3, Vandor, Nest team. I wouldn't use Nest.
Oh, by the way, Vandor can work on the Canderous team team as well if you don't have her used in other places or him used in other places.
Akira, L3, Vandor, and then I don't like Nest on that team. I would just go Young Han and Young Lando and just do full prepared. They're actually a pretty decent team, the prepared team.
Well, for offense or defense, though?
Both. I would save Nest for anything solo.
Defense, though.
Yeah, I like Nest. I mean, and then young Han Solo just doesn't throw his dice on defense like he's supposed to. So, I mean, like, I like him better for offense, too, because you can use him with, like, Akira, young Han team, and 2-mana team if he ramps up enough damage and has enough protection.
Yeah. That one is a little... Yeah.
Is really good on defense because the AI uses them correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I do like Nest for defense, but I like her way more for offense, just like Finn said, for a solo capability. And then, like, Young Han, he's a very high investment to make one of those characters, right? Like, he has to do a lot of damage at the beginning, and he can't be that squishy, so that's definitely, like, a Gear 11, Gear 12 investment for offense.
All right, and then the next team he's asking about is Bastila Shan, lead, Old Ben, Hermit Yoda, Ezra, and then who in the next spot?
What were the 3? Bastila, Ezra, and who?
Ezra.
Old Ben?
Yeah. Bastila, Old Ben, Hermit Yoda, and Ezra.
Throw a Kanan in there. Have some fun. Or throw in an
With
Anakin
old
there.
Ben
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, why not? Double tank. Timeout team.
And they both auto taunt, and
Counter.
Hermione's just gonna keep healing them.
Yeah.
So you dispel one, you got to work on the other.
Yeah, you
They're
could
both
do that.
annoying tanks.
Mhm.
I was thinking Ayla or Plo Koon, depending on what you have set on
I
your
mean, there's a
Revan
lot of
team.
ways you can go. There's a lot of ways you can go with that.
Or you can, if you wanted to go more offensive minded, take Kanan or Old Ben out for Anakin. He does a lot of damage, buff immunity,
That's
health
what I would
immunity.
do. I think I would
That's like
remove
one of the
Old
big
Ben.
nest counters. Yeah.
Yeah, Bastila, Kanan, Hermit Yoda, Ezra, and then like an Anakin or something like that. I think would be better.
Yeah,
you have
just mod
Kanan
him up with a
ready.
bunch of potency, and then he just smacks down all those debuffs on Nest if they try to solo them.
Yeah.
I know it's happened to me. I know.
And then the last one is Jedi Training Ray, BB-8, Scavenger Ray. So he only named 3. R2 has to be your other one on that team.
Yeah, I like Holdo in mine, so.
And I put
Yeah, I
Old
like
Ben on
R2
that
and
one.
Holdo, or you can do like another droid like IG-88 or L3 if you want L3 in there for taunting, even though she's better for a scoundrel team preferably, but she does fit in with those droids really well.
Yeah, I like Old Ben. I feel like you need a tank on that team outside of Jedi Training Ray, so I always use
Holdo too. Mm-hmm.
Holdo
Old
I like
Ben's a
on my
great
Finn
one.
team though, so that's why I don't use her there. It's
Yeah, I
usually
can see
Zeta
that
Finn,
one, too.
Poe, Resistance Trooper, Rose, and Holdo is my
Because she
Finn.
keeps smacking down that AoE days.
Yeah, the AoE to hit all those potencies, all the exposes to get.
Can we all just take a minute to miss Finn already? Like
That team is still going to work. As
I
long
know,
as you
but
have a full resistance team, the resistance team is going to work with Finn. It's the other teams where you're using like Han and Chewie that's going to get nerfed when you use C-3PO.
Yeah, I can see that too. It's just like the mass nerf to the turn meter reduction is going to be missed so much.
But it's not. It's not really that much of a nerf.
Because the damage ramping.
Yeah, because everything is based on the resistance being on the team, right? So all the negatives as I was reading it, and they're still changing it, right? So anything can change. But
Yeah,
most
right.
of the detriment of it was to the fact that you were not using a full resistance team and getting all the turn meter. So
Right.
that's what they were largely changing. Like you gain turn meter based on the number of resistance on your team, so you can't mismatch as much. They can change it pretty easily. It's not like they won't stay there, but yeah. Oh, he's saying I should have set R2 in the CLS team. I don't put R2 on CLS anymore.
No,
He said-
it doesn't work out as well.
He fixed it and says instead of set said.
Yeah. I still wouldn't put R2 on the CLS team.
I don't know.
I
So
like the
CLS,
shared
Han,
stats for
Chewie.
BB-8 and JTR. You know, it gives them
Yeah.
more survivability.
And the main reason is that BB-8 will call a droid in order to assist, right? And then if you have R2 on there, he's constantly getting the stun. It's awesome how often that stun comes up by R2.
It's amazing.
So CLS is actually CLS Han Chewie, right? So you have that. And then you can put in whatever you have in terms of the 4th and 5th spots. You can do Chirrut and Baze. That still works. You can do Fulcrum Ahsoka and Old Ben. That will still work. I mean, there's a lot of different options you can do once you have CLS Han Chewie. You just need like one tank and then like one whatever else you want. Fulcrum Ahsoka and Old Ben still work out really well. All right. Next question, Tangent Revolution. Question: after seeing the kits for HK and Fallen Bastila, I'm gearing those two and waiting on the rest to see how far I can get without gearing them. Is that reasonable? Yeah. If you're getting Darth Revan, right, and I would still wait in general, but HK and Fallen Bastila, we know are being reworked to specifically work with Darth Revan. So if you are planning, regardless of what Revan's kit is, and it's unlikely, but if Revan just flat out sucks, if he becomes the Grievous of legendary characters, right, will you regret working on HK and Fallen Bastila? That's the question. If you're going to work on him anyways, then go for it. If you're really working on it because you're trying to figure out whether or not Darth Revan's going to be meta, then just wait, even on HK and Fallen Bastila. Wait to see how he synergizes, how they, HK and Fallen Bastila, synergize with Revan before you go ahead and actually start putting gear on them. There's no harm in waiting to gear, right? Collect all the gear that you need, and when you need it, start applying it. Right, you can't go back and ungear, which was the whole problem with Nightsister Zombie, but you can add gear whenever you have something. So I would still wait, but as long as you're dedicated to Darth Revan and you know for sure you're going to gear him up all the way, then go for it.
science.
Tangent Revolution question: on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about rating things on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm gonna go over 9,000.
There you go. Ziglet question: how best to mod HK-47 after the rework? I would wait. We don't know what Revan's leader is going to be, right? Simple example: BB-8. If you looked at his kit in general, right, without Jedi Training Rey, you would see that you definitely want to get a lot of speed and everything on him, right? And maybe that doesn't change very much. But when you see Jedi Training Rey's leader, you also have to now mod BB-8 with crit, because unless he's critting, you're not getting those exposes. So it's a combination, right? We know what half of this group is, or 2/3 of the group. We know Fallen Bastila, we know HK-47. There might be a general idea of how to mod him, but I would wait until we see Revan's kit, because it's possible that, I don't know, you need a lot of potency because he's not providing a potency bonus and you need to hit some of these debuffs and stuff, or whatever it is, right? I would wait until Darth Revan. We'll have some idea probably tomorrow when we talk about it on the night stream as to what may be the modding for it, but for now I would just wait, because I've seen this too much. Everyone is just jumping to mod and gear and everything right now. Just please wait. Wait until Darth Revan's kit is out before doing anything.
Here's an easy thing for it. Have you heard of the tragedy of General Grievous?
Have you heard the tale of Darth General Grievous the Wise? No, he was garbage. But no, seriously, I mean, this is the best part for me this time of the year, and this game is the fact that you can re-tier your mods and re-tier your roster, and with Grievous and Traya and everything, Revan, these past couple factions or teams to come together based on mods, and again, the fact that the defensive mods might become the meta, that's crazy, right? It's just wait and see, but like we were talking about earlier, you might be pulling your Traya mods off and putting them on Darth Revan. You might just be clocking them for speed like we've been doing for God knows how long. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be fun to re-tier your roster again.
Well, not to mention, we'll have to see with what defensive stat Revan's defense to offense pulls from.
Yeah, like if it's just a special or his general statistics or anything like that. So there's a lot of mechanics behind it we haven't seen.
All right, next question is, so Gav P asks, what's the best way to mod Fallen Bastila? Kind of the same response. She's still right now speed and potency, so that's probably what is going to prevail, but for her, I would just wait right now.
Reading the rework to her kit, her fear can still be resisted. Mm-hmm. So potency, and you want her throwing that out as quick as possible. So speed and potency is
unless Darth Revan has 100% potency to everybody else on the team, right? So we have no idea what the kit is.
That's part of the problem. Possible.
So that's what I'm saying.
Well, potentially you could be moving your mods from 3PO to Fallen Bastila if she's not already modded for as fast as she could possibly be and as potent as she could possibly be.
Yeah.
But
there's no hurry. You don't even have the team yet, so just wait. Hermit Fulgrim question: did you know Scrooge McDougal has a raptor that can ride a pickle?
Oh my goodness!
A pickle riding raptor. That's awesome. Okay, Chicken question: what team do you put C3PO on, and is it good to keep low gear? Low gear, no.
No, you need to put that six. What is it? 60. And then gear 12 plus extra speed.
As for what team, I've kind of changed it around every now and then to who I'm putting it on. When we were mentioning the CLS team earlier, one of the teams, because my Fulcrum Ahsoka isn't quite ready yet, I actually put 3PO on my CLS team. So CLS, Han, Chewie, 3PO, and Old Ben. That's been my team lately that I use. But 3PO is actually pretty versatile. It just kind of depends on what you need.
I like him with my JTR team, but it's only because I already had that comfortable CLS team, right? So my CLS team is CLS, Han, Chewie, Chase, or if I go shorthanded, I'll put Pathfinder in there, and Pathfinder's only like gear 8. He's just there to be the magnet, right? And then for my JTR team, it's JTR, BB-8, R2, 3PO, And then sometimes the 5th varies between like Scavray or IG88, depending on what I'm facing. And he just fits in with that JTR team more comfortably because of how many debuffs he's giving and how much assist he's calling. So, and then again, the shared statistics from R2, giving the team more survivability that way is just, it's more comfortable for me. So,
All right.
Okay. Next question is from Gav P. Question: Are Rolo and Cholo useful at all? If so, where are they useful? I.e., what team composition setups?
it's like more like endgame and like offensive teams for like revives and
Cholo more so than Rolo.
Yeah, and then Rolo is just like Rolo's like an extra leader for like wedge bigs and then +2, like gives a bunch of foresight and everything like that, and has some synergy against Empire. But it used to seem like it was going to be a good counter for the Palpatine rework, but then after a while it wasn't, and it was just a good extra piece to have in your roster for like TW and for Rebels.
All right, next question, DSP question: Why are kits so specific in counters now? We are going down a rabbit hole here.
Well, it depends on how far the rabbit hole you want to go.
Yeah, it's power creep. That's why. It happens in every game. The question is, how do they balance out the power creep? Darth Revan, again, I will throw this out there as a potential. We don't know anything about the kit yet, but Darth Revan could be intended as a counter for Jedi Knight Revan, right? So Jedi Knight Revan may have difficulty beating Darth Revan, but it's possible that, let's just say, Nightsisters end up being the counter to Darth Revan. Just his kit might be too pigeonholed against Jedi Knight Revan that Nightsisters become the counter to Darth Revan. Now, Jedi Knight Revan can beat Nightsisters, and you get the circle, right? Around and around and around you go. So you could easily kind of break the Jedi Knight Revan only 90% meta counter thing pretty easy.
Just the right mods too, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like, the top tier 3 teams would definitely be Darth Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, and the Triumvirate. And then you have those other 3 sleeper teams like Nightsisters, JTR, Droids, and then CLS C-3PO teams.
Well, you're assuming that Traya is going to be there, right? CLS could be the counter to Darth Revan.
Yeah. Well, I still think Annihilate is going to be, like, the hard counter for Darth Revan other than mirror matches. And then that'll create that circle, right? So Traya can beat Darth Revan with good mods, but then Jedi Knight Revan can also beat the Triumvirate, so it creates that circle again, like you were just talking about, but between those 3 teams alone. And then you have those other 3 teams behind them with good mods again that are built to counter all 3 of these teams, Nightsisters, JTR, and CLS. And I mean, like, it'll just create a bigger piece of the pie. And then you'll even potentially see some Grievous teams, too. I got a buddy of mine who's in the top 10 with Grievous, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. Speaking of which, last question from Nick Murk. Question: Who on the panel is getting Darth Revan?
Me.
Hi.
I think it's Ranger Zylo and Mike, right? Grim and I are not getting it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get him first run. I'll probably get him the second run.
I'll get him second run for sure. I'm not getting him first. I don't care enough. I'm working on my Karth team instead, so.
I'm going to live stream the event right at launch.
All right. That's it for, let me see. We probably got a couple of questions in here. We have a few minutes. I'm going to get one last group of questions here.
Speed roll them.
2 questions. We got 2 questions. Sword of the Jedi question: Will we see Darth Revan's kit today? Either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's either today.
I hope so.
Today would be better. Either today or tomorrow, because then Thursday is when the event is coming. So it's probably going to be tomorrow.
I'm not picky, but today would be better, right?
I'm just saying.
And then Malin87.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but where's the fun in them dropping it today? They usually drop the big stuff right before the Wednesday night stream to make Ranger pissed off at Finn.
Yeah, that's right.
I swear they timed that. The last couple of months they've been doing stuff right before the show. They're like, all right, here you go, RSG, showtime. I love it. It's funny.
And then Malin87 question: What should be the cutoff point for slicing mods to 5A? 10 speed purple and above. Also, should I keep exclusively farming mod slicing materials or actually mods in the mix? Okay, so I'm going to get technical. Grim is going to fall asleep on me. But we can...
Damn, we're supposed to be speeding through these. God dang.
Yeah, we're already almost 10.
This is going to be fairly quick. But there's two progressions that you look at for mods, right? There's the tier 1 and the tier 2 progression. What is the tier 1 progression? Tier 1s are the ones that get you to the god mod status, which means when you're at 5A, right? Let's suppose you're looking at speed. When you look at speed, there's a number in parentheses afterwards. A god mod, when it's a gold mod, so 5A, is going to have a 5 next to it, right? It's going to say speed of whatever, 25, and then in parentheses, it's going to have 5. That's what I call a gold 5. A purple 4 means that the maximum number of rolls you get on a secondary is 4 on a purple, and you just happen to get all 4 of them on the same stat. So you're going to get like a 20 speed purple or something like that. So that's what I'm talking about, just so you know, when I talk about like purple 4, gold 5s, and that kind of stuff. Tier 1 mods are the ones that end up in gold 5. Before gold 5, they're purple 4s, then blue 3s, then green 2s, and then gray 1s, right? So that's the tier 1 progression. So if you're somewhere along that and you try to move up that, so you level up a gray, did it level up your speed and become a green 2? Yes, it's still in the tier 1, then you jump up. So do all your tier 1 mods first to try and get to gold 5As. Anytime they don't hit the next level, they're now out of that tier. Then you have tier 2. Tier 2 means that your maximum is going to be a gold 4, meaning one of them didn't roll, right? But your other 4 did. So a gold 4 would be the maximum there. From gold 4, it's going to be a purple 3, a blue 2, blue 2, a green 1, and then a gray, right? So somewhere in that cycle, you're going to have either a tier 1 or a tier 2 mod. Those are the ones that I would slice. You can go into more specifics about whether or not it rolled a 3 instead of a 6 on the speed and all of that, right? But if you want to just keep it simple, look at the number in parentheses, and those are the mods that you want to slice up first, the tier 1 and the tier 2 mods. After that, you've now missed at least 2 rolls on the secondary, so the stats are going to be a lot lower. Your maximum is a gold 3. You can get that at a blue. So there's no reason to worry about those kind of mods if you're already missing 2 of the stats. So that's the progression I would go. Tier 1 and Tier 2 mods, ultimately leading either to a gold 5 or a gold 4, and then everything in between to get there.
All right.
3 hours later.
I'm done.
Next question!
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. He's still awake, right?
Haha!
Kinda.
I'm going to play.
What's the next question, Finn?
I think that was
That was the last question. Although
Yeah,
Alan just asked, so would you do a tier 3 mod? I don't know what tier. Oh, no, I would not do a tier 3 mod. Only in the line of progressions for tier 1 and tier 2 are the ones that I would mod or to slice up. And once you get to tier 3, you're losing so much on the stats that it's a waste of your resources to even try. You are better off at that point trying to farm challenges or whatever in order to try and get better mods. Now, what I really wish they would add, because I'm sick of this, they really need to add a way to just sell mods that you're viewing on the screen without having to click that stupid sell button. Because they've changed it now. You can't sell mods that are on like characters, right? And you can't even find them. And you can't unequip them when you're not on that character. So if you want to sell a mod that you see while you're just scrolling through things, you have to get out of your current character, go to the other character, unequip it, then go to the sell screen, find it in the sell screen, and then sell it. It is the stupidest system to manage mods when you have a limited amount of space. They really need to change that very soon because mods are getting horrendous to manage right now. And I'm done.
Are you sure?
I'm done right now.
Are you sure?
I need to play Anthem.
Okay. Finn, tell us about the ACS stuff and let's close this out.
Okay. So we're still raising money for the American Cancer Society. We have an event set up now on our channel where we are doing our 12-hour stream starting at 10 a.m. on March 30th. So the event is up there. We have a Twitter post as well. If you guys can retweet, like it, and share it, let people know about it. All the links are in that video description. So you guys can go there and please spread the word. We're trying to make our final push to get to 15,000 for the American Cancer Society.
Almost
That's
there.
our goal here. So please check that out. Again, March 30th is when we're doing that. We still have a lot of things available on the Tiltify. We have rewards. For example, if you guys are interested in the NCAA March Madness tournament, we have a bracket on CBS Sports available to all of you guys that are here. right? So you guys just donate $5 to that reward on Tiltify. I will send you a link so you can join our CBS pool. The winner will get a $25 iTunes or Google Play gift card, or gift code, I should say, because you can just enter it in directly. So we'll send you the code for that. We also have now a second place reward of a BB-8 Funko. So second place will get a BB-8 Funko now. So be on the lookout for that. We may end up having a third reward also that you may, like, second place can choose whether or not they want BB-8, depending on how many people we have. So right now, we have a BB-8 Funko that's going to be in second place. If we can get about 10 more people to sign up, we will add a $15 reward for Google Play or iTunes, and second place can pick between the 15 or the BB-8 Funko. So we'll start putting more in there as we get more people signing up. So if you guys like just doing it, you don't have to even know much about basketball. Just sign up. Again, $5 for the American Cancer Society, all going to a good cause. You guys donate. We'll provide the iTunes gift card at the end. Have fun. The first day of the tournament is on the 21st, so you have to sign up and make sure that you do all of your brackets before that. So at the end of the 20th, so the end of tomorrow, is going to be the last day you guys can sign up for the bracket. And then starting on Thursday will be the tournament. So we can all watch as some of us will succeed and some of us can fail. We have other challenges out there too from me that will need to dress up a porg when we meet for the ACS pizza party at the middle of a hotel. That should be awful. I'm not looking forward to that, by the way. That's going to be pretty bad. And then we have Grimm's roster roasting is still available as a challenge. We have the RSG reenacting movie scenes there. So go out there, have some fun with us, donate to the American Cancer Society, and yeah, check out the Tiltify page.
All right. So with that, we are going to call this stream done. Make sure you guys subscribe, give us a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And I think that with that, we're done. So have a great rest of your day. And with that, we will holler at y'all later. Peace.